Hello to all my victory riders out there. It's your girl V here, and I am back with another video. And today, this is a real victory with Victoria, because as you guys can see from the title down below, I am walking you guys through my journey of doing the 21-day Daniel fast. And I am so excited to bring to you guys this video because it has blessed me tremendously. Okay, and I really hope that by the end of this video, you too are blessed, you too are inspired, you too are helped out in any way. And that is the purpose of this video, that is the purpose of this channel. It's just to help anyone out there, bless anyone out there with my testimony, with how I encountered life, with anything that may be going on in my life, and how I overcome it with God. Okay, because I can't do anything on my own, and I do everything and anything with God and God alone. So let me just stop rambling and get you guys up to date with my journey doing the 21-day Daniel fast. Okay, so let me get the victory goals going. If you guys are new to this channel, I do victory goals where I kind of like lay out what this video will have, so you guys can know exactly what you're tuning into. If you guys want to skip ahead, fast forward, rewind, you know exactly what to do. In this video, under the victory goals, first, I will walk you guys through why did I do the 21-day Daniel fast. Next, I'll walk you into how did I complete the 21-day Daniel fast. Third, I will show you guys what did I learn during the 21-day Daniel fast. And fourth, I will update you guys on what is next after completing the 21-day Daniel fast. And fifth is giving you guys a victory update. If you guys don't know, I have a plant that I called Victory. And while doing the 21-day Daniel fast, I had a sort of like a revelation on Victory, which I will just wrap in later. So just update on Victory. And six is showing you guys a playlist I created. So all in all, I'll walk you guys through 6 victory goals today. I think this is the longest victory goals list I ever had out, because usually I have like 3 or 4, you know, maybe 5, but 6. So why did I do it? How did I do it? What did I learn? What is next? Victory update, and showing you guys a playlist I created that is truly blessing me. So first and foremost, why did I do it? Okay, well, the reason why I did the 21-day Daniel fast, multiple reasons. First reason, I myself personally wanted a closer walk with God. I feel like what I was doing wasn't enough to develop a friendship, wasn't enough to develop a relationship, wasn't enough to sustain a relationship. Because essentially, we all know, in order to develop a relationship, in order to sustain a relationship, you have to communicate. Not only communicate, you have to listen, you have to have dialogue, you have to spend time with that person, you know, like show them that they are important. And I feel like I wasn't doing that in my relationship with God. I'm sorry, my cousin's in the back on a phone call. So if you guys hear him in the back, excuse him. So yeah, I wanted a close relationship with God. That was my first reason why I did the 21-day Daniel fast. Secondly, it was because I felt like God was trying to talk to me. And because everything around me was just so loud, and I was just so busy in my mind, that I never made time to just stop and listen, stop, and spend time with him in a proper manner. Not just like a quick prayer before I go to bed, or a quick prayer when I wake up. I mean like proper time, sitting still, waiting, you know, just listening. And I feel like doing the 21-day Daniel fast helped me to develop that stillness. What was another reason? I wrote them down, so I want to make sure I get all of them. Close walk with God. Oh yeah, because I had certain questions I wanted answered too. So during the 21-day Daniel fast, I wrote down a couple of questions that I wanted answered, and I prayed about them each and every day. So I was hoping that by the end of the 21 day Daniel fast that I would have these questions answered, but to be honest, I didn't, you know, and that's okay because that's the journey. Like, you can't put an ETA on receiving an answer from God, you know, and I knew that, but I was hopeful. I was hopeful, but it didn't happen. So essentially that's 3 reasons why I did a 21 day Daniel fast. So that checks off that victory goal. Second victory goal is, how did I do it? So essentially what I did was mind and body, right? If that's what I want to break it down to. And spirit, my heart as well. So first, for my body, I did the raw plant-based diet. You know, veggies, fruits, and grains. So I can break it down everything that I had during the fast. I took pictures of everything, and I remember it. So it was just about like almost a month ago, maybe. So I started the day out with tea. So every morning I would wake up and make this tea for Donte and I. So Donte and I did it together. I forgot to add that. So Donte and I did this 21 day Daniel fast together, and we would start the day off with tea. So I made this tea where I would just squeeze a half a lemon, a few shakes of turmeric, a few shakes of black pepper, hot water, and I would put a tea bag in there that was like a turmeric lemon tea bag, and that's it. So that would be the first thing I'll put in my body, is that tea. Okay, and then throughout the day I'll make sure I would drink about 4 to 5 bottles a day. That's 16 ounces. I hear you should drink half your body weight in ounces. So I'm about like 118. So half your body weight in ounces, that's 59. So I will drink 4 to 5 bottles of 16 ounces. So let's do the lowest one. So 16 times 4 is 64. Half my body weight is 59. So my goal is to make sure I have 59 ounces of water. But yeah, I was drinking times 4, 64 ounces. And if I was doing 16 times 5, that's 80 ounces of water. So I was really hydrated, you know, making sure my body was fully hydrated. So I would start the day out with the tea, making sure I drink about 4 to 5 bottles of water a day. And then for breakfast, I would have a bowl of fruits, you know, the pineapples, apples, pears, mangoes, blueberries, bananas, like you name it. Like, I would just have fruits. Yes, my morning was full of fruits, right? And let me make sure, I took pictures. I want to make sure I'm getting everything. So yeah, fruits and nuts. Got to add that. So I would have cashews and almonds as well, just to snack on, just in case like the fruits wouldn't do it for me, because like fruits like liquid, you know, so I was really hungry maybe like an hour or two later. So I'll have some fruits and nuts to make up for the hunger I was feeling by the middle of the day. And then for lunch, Donte and I would have a bowl of kale. Like, when I tell you a bowl of kale, I'm telling you a bowl of kale, because we each will have a bag of kale. And if you guys can see, we will buy like many bags of kale per week. So we'll go every Thursday to the grocery store, and then we'll get like 10 bags, because then each day we'll have 2 bags, one for me, one for him. So then by then it's like 10. After we have a bowl of kale for lunch, we'll follow it with a green drink. And this is the only thing that we purchased that wasn't from the ground up, but processed, because we was just like, we gave it the pass because we saw the ingredients that was in it and it was like organic. So this green drink that we had, I can show you guys right now, was cucumber, 2 stalks of celery, half a grapefruit, head of a leaf of lettuce, green chard, lemon wedge, kale, spinach, parsley, and mint tea. So that's the only thing that was in our drink. And then we'll put inside the green drink a spoonful of wheatgrass, so that we really were having a lot of nutrients in the middle of the day. So that was our lunch. And then for dinner, we would have like a veggie bowl. And I forgot to tell you guys, like, this is not like the most delicious meals, okay? I think that was a part of the journey, because there was another reason why I did this fast. Can we go back? Okay, let me go back. So there's 4 reasons why I did this fast. I felt like I was relying on food too much. Like, I'm an emotional eater. When I'm sad, I eat. When I'm happy, I eat. When I'm bored, I eat. When I'm nervous, I eat. When I'm mad, I eat. Like, I am an emotional eater. So I wanted to pull back from relying on food to temporarily satisfy my emotions and rely on God to indefinitely, permanently satisfy my emotions in the way He assists me, in the way that He helps me through. So that's another reason why I did the 21-day Daniel fast. That's 4 reasons. Closer walk with God, to hear Him more clearly, had some questions I wanted answered, and because I wanted to rely on God more than I wanted to lean on God more. I guess that goes with a closer walk with God, but I wanted to lean on God more, especially during times where I need Him, and not running to food or running to anything else to temporarily satisfy me. So now, jumping back to what I did. So we're now in dinner. That's where I jumped back, because I was saying I didn't want to rely on food anymore. Like, I wanted to be someone who eats food not for the enjoyment, but just for the sustainability to be alive. You know, like, if that's weird, like, because there's a verse in the Bible that I shared with you guys before, that man should not live by bread alone, but by the word of God, right? And I wanted to not enjoy food to the point where I'm just like eating for enjoyment. Is that weird? Like, I didn't want to eat just for the experience, or eat just for just cuts. You know, like, I wanted to eat just to stay alive, just to maintain a healthy body, just to have a clear mind, healthy mind, light body. Because when I'm heavy and sluggish, that affects how I may talk to God, because then I'm gonna be like lazy and rushed to like finish and pray and wrap up and go to bed, you know? But when I'm like feeling light and healthy and full of energy, then I can like really give God my full self and not find any excuse to be like, amen, and go to bed, you know? So I really want to be clear here, and if I'm not, please let me know down below. So get into dinner. All right, I guess I'm stalling to get me out of dinner, because dinner's like really like unappetizing, plain, boring. So we will do like a veggie bowl, right? So we start out with a clear bowl, and then I'll smash an avocado at the bottom. Depending on the size of the avocado, it'll be a half avocado or a full avocado. So we'll smash avocado at the bottom. Then I'll put some quinoa on top of the avocado, and then I would steam some veggies. So no oil and no salt. Did I forget to tell you guys that? Yeah, no oil and no salt for 21 days, right? So these veggies, I will put tomato, onions, and mushroom in a pan, and just put some water and season it with these seasonings you see here, which is black pepper, oregano, thyme, basil, turmeric, and garlic powder. Okay, so water, veggies, and those seasonings is all I would use to season up my veggies. So then I will put the veggies in the bowl, right, on top of the quinoa, and then on top of the veggies I will put garbanzo beans. So as you guys see, the garbanzo beans that I used were garbanzo beans that were raw, organic, They weren't like soaking and soft already. They were like hard, raw, organic garbanzo beans that I would soak the night before and then cook and then consume. So I'm telling y'all, it wasn't the most delicious meal, but I was okay with that. Like, I am okay with that. If you guys know me and Donte, we travel a lot and we eat good food a lot, just for the experience, just for the thrill, just say we did it. You know, like, we love good food. And I bring that back home sometimes. So I'm just like, if I ate something really good out, then I will try to come home like and recreate it and put my own spin on it or something like that. And which is fine and dandy. But I caught myself doing that, like, oh, I had a hard week, let me do this for myself. Oh, I had a bad day, let me do this for myself. Oh, I don't feel the best, let me make this meal. You know, like, I was making meals to satisfy me, to make me happy. And I didn't want that relationship with food. There we go. I think I was able to get there, put that better in a bow. I did not want food to satisfy me anymore. I wanted God to satisfy me. I wanted our relationship to satisfy me. And I wanted the opportunity to go to Him so that we can develop a strong relationship instead of me going to food and developing a strong relationship with food. I did not want that. Okay, so I think we're getting there. So that's essentially what I did in regards to dinner, and that's it. No dessert. Well, not that I don't really do dessert on a normal day. We don't do dessert when we travel anyways, but that's pretty much it. One thing I forgot to add was, like, on the side of the bowl, we'll have oven baked plantain. So as you guys can see, we will buy a lot of plantain as well, and I will let it ripen so that it can be really sweet, and then I'll put it in the oven just like that, no oil, nada. Okay, put it in the oven, pop in the oven, and boom. Like, it was crispy around the edges and sweet in the inner. Like, it may look dull and boring, but I'm telling you, it was good. Like, that was like our dessert, because it was sweet like a dessert. So that's essentially what I did when it comes to, like, the physical body, and I put the mind and the heart, spirit all in one. I really dived in deeper into talking to God, reading the Bible more, and understanding our relationship better. Because, like, I'm like, Victoria, how can you say you have a relationship with God when you barely talk to Him, when you barely read the Bible? Like, I'm not ashamed to say, like, I was barely reading the Bible, and I was, maybe I'm being hard on myself, but I'm just saying, I'm realizing the growth now, and compared to what I was used to doing, what I'm doing now is nothing compared to what I used to do. So maybe I'm being a little hard on myself. Like, I wasn't barely reading the Bible. I wasn't reading it enough. Another thing I did during the 21-day Daniel fast was I would read a parable a day. Because I know God loves teaching lessons. Well, Jesus, when He was on earth, He loved teaching lessons through parables. And I'm like, what better way to understand God than reading His parables and understanding what He's trying to tell us? And that's what I did. So as you guys can see here, I have a whole list of all the parables that's in the Bible, and each day I would read a parable, right? And after I would read a parable, I would then spend time journaling what the parable means to me, what God's trying to tell me in the parable, and trying to incorporate it into my life, right? So that's one thing I did in regards to how I completed 21-day Daniel fast. And another thing I did was spending time in prayer and journaling. Like, while I would journal, it was kind of like a praying experience, because I realized that after I would journal from the parable, like what I learned from the parable, what I believe God is trying to teach me in the parable, and how I can incorporate this parable into my life, then I started kind of like free writing. Like, my hands would just go, and I'm just writing and journaling. I was realizing I was writing a prayer, because essentially at the end of my journaling, I would say amen. And I was like, wow, this is like a prayer that I'm saying in my journaling. and I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's something I never did before, like journal my prayers. oddly. I think I did that during like college, because college was rough. So like I really leaned on God during college. I was leaning on food too. So I was leaning on God and food during college. But nowadays I find myself leaning on food more. Journaling my prayers is one thing I am going to thoroughly continue to enjoy, because I'm really seeing my prayers being answered, and I can go back and be like, I journaled this prayer, I wrote about this, and to see it come into fruition, I'm just like, God, you are too good to me. And that's essentially the third thing that I did. So my diet of what I was eating was a raw plant-based diet. Secondly, I was reading a parable a day. And thirdly, I was journaling not only about the parables, but journaling my prayers. And that is how I did the 21-day Daniel fast. Boom. All right, now moving on to the third victory goal is what I learned, okay? And this one's my favorite. This one's my favorite because so many things I learned, okay? So here is essentially the 3 items that got me through. First is the Bible. Second, right here, is my journal. And third, right here, is a list of all the parables. I'll just put it right here so you guys can see it. So this is my list of all the parables I read. There are 46 parables that this list has. There could be more, so don't quote me that it's 46 in total in the Bible, but from the list that I have, it's 46. Okay, Victory Riders, I'm sorry, my camera died on me. So right when I was explaining to you guys my 3 key tools that got me through the 21-day Daniel fast, boom, it dies on me. So let me continue. Let me push on through. Ooh. Let me get my phone. My phone has all the notes I need to share with y'all. Okay, so these are essentially 3 things that brought me through. And I think I left off, oh yeah, what I learned, okay? So I was going to bring you guys through what I learned, and I was explaining to you guys how there's 46 parables in the Bible, but I only read 21. I plan on doing a 21-day Daniel fast again. And when I do it again, I should complete everything. Should, hopefully. So let me share with you guys some of the favorite parables that I read in the Bible. Okay, so the first one is weed and weeds. This one was my favorite. Weed and weeds, where is that? Let me show you guys what verse you can find it in. Right, weeds among good plants. That's Matthew 13:24 through 30. And essentially what this verse says is that there was a farmer who planted some wheat, and then overnight his enemies came and planted weeds among his wheat, so that when the wheat began to grow, the weeds would grow with it. So then the servant asked the farmer, like, what do you want us to do? There seems to be weeds growing with your wheat. And the farmer says, let it grow. When it's harvest time, separate the weeds from the wheat so that we can burn the weeds and harvest the wheat. And I loved this verse because this was like the first awakening of showing that this is how the end of ages will be. There will be a separation between good and evil, bad and good. And I was just like, a little wake-up call for me, like, I hope I am among the good. Like, even though I consider myself a good person, I hope I am good for God, you know? Like, will he say, well done, my good and faithful servant, when it is the end of age, you know? So, like, that was the first wake-up call for me. My second favorite one was the treasure. So wait, my first favorite one was the weed among good plants, and you can find that in Matthew 13:24 through 30, and the explanation in 36 through 43. Okay, And now another one I want to share with you is treasure. And treasure, you can find that one in Matthew 13:14. Matthew 13:44. And I just loved this one because this verse was a parable on a man who found treasure, right? He was digging and found some treasure. So then he buried the treasure back, right? And then sells all that he has, buys the lot so that he can have the treasure. And I had to sit and ponder like, wait, what is happening here? He found treasure, buried the treasure, sold all his things, bought the lot. Now he has the lot with the treasure. And I see this is how we are to live, to have treasure, which is treasure equals the kingdom of heaven. Where once we know God, and once we accept God as our Lord and Savior, and that He's gonna one day come back for us and bring us to heaven, He wants us to like leave everything behind, sell everything behind, and follow Him so that we can ultimately have the treasure, which is the kingdom of heaven. And that is what this man did. Once he knew there was treasure there, boom, dropped everything, sold all his stuff, just so we can have that treasure. And we have to do the same thing. Like, once we know that God's coming back for us again, once we accept God as our Lord and Savior, drop everything that we own, all the earthly things that can collect dust, can be stolen and destroyed, boom, and we can go back and boom, drop everything and follow God and have the treasure, the real treasures. And I just love that comparison. It's like, wow, it's a true analogy of how we should live, you know? And I love that. Another one is owner of the house. This one made me think. All right, owner of the house, you can find that in Matthew 13:52. Okay, and I loved this one because this one made me think. I'm just like, wait, what's happening here again? Like, it took me a couple hours to understand this, okay? So essentially there is a homeowner, and I think guests came over, and the homeowner bought out the good, all the new valuable items of his house for his guests, I believe. And let me just make a quick check. So, owner of the house, Matthew 13:52. And he said unto them, therefore, every scribe who has been trained for the kingdom of heaven is like a master of a house who brings out his treasure that is new and what is old. Yes, okay, so I read it really fast, but I understood it because I was skipping over stuff. But essentially what this means is that the owner of the house, when you own a house, you know what is new and what is old in your house. And you're going to bring out the new stuff because you no longer care about the old stuff, right? Like, not saying like new is better, you know, like it's an upgrade. It's like it should function better. It should be more convenient. It should just be better, right? So with this verse of owner of the house, it's essentially showing that another separation between good and evil, like new and old, and good and evil, bad and good. You know, we want that good item. We want that new item in our house as homeowners. We don't want to keep the old, broken, rundown, messed up, that barely works type of items in our house. And that's the same thing for the kingdom of heaven. God wants like the good people, not the evil people. That's why there's going to be like a separation at the end of the ages between good and evil, and which is why I constantly want to check myself, make sure that God will say to me like, well done, my good and faithful servant, which is why this verse was a wake-up call to me, and I loved it. All right, another one was this one right here made me think of Victory, the plant, right? So it's the unfruitful fig tree, right? So this verse you can find, well, this parable you can find in Luke 13:6-9. Essentially, this parable was about a man who had a fig tree, and year after year after year, the fig tree never produced any fruits, any figs. And then he told the servant to burn it down. And the servant's like, wait, let me like give it more care. Let me nurture it and give it the proper love that it needs. And then come one more year, if it still produces no fruit, then we can burn it down. And I'm just like, wow, this is absolutely beautiful. This is like the unconditional love God has for us. You know, like, although we may do bad and we do something that's wrong and may do something that's like, that wouldn't consider us a good person, God still wants to love us and nurture us and care for us so that we can be that good person that produces fruit on earth. And it gives us that grace that God always gives us each and every day, that grace of like, God doesn't just leave you on your own to figure out whether you want to be a good or bad person. Like, he is with us on this journey, and he is helping us on this journey so that we do ultimately at the end of the ages end up on the good side where he says, well done, my good and faithful servant, and we can go up to heaven with him. And I love that because it just shows we are not alone. And when you're not alone, it's just like you shouldn't fear. Like, you shouldn't have as much anxiety. You shouldn't have all the stress and burdens wait on you and you alone, like, because you have someone there to balance it out with. You have someone there to go through it with. So that makes it easier. I mean, it just shows like all the love and grace and mercy God has on us, and he doesn't have to. Like, he doesn't have to, but he's there for us. And I love that because it just shows there's so many verses in the Bible that shows like a separation between good and evil, bad and good. Like the owner of the house was one was the fishing net. A fisher goes out to fish, and then he brings good fish and he brings bad fish. And then he just separates the good fish from the bad, and he burns the bad fish. And you can find that one in Matthew 13:47-50. That's the fishing net parable. So I just love these parables of showing kind of like the good and the bad, because it gives me that, it's like a cautionary tale for me of like, okay, I need to make sure I am good, you know, so that at the end of the ages, like, I don't have to worry, like, I did my part, and I hope that I am part of the good. So I went through that really quickly because my battery's like really dying and I don't want it to die. So that is pretty much what I learned. And I have here, will I do this fast again? I already answered that. I'm definitely going to do this fast again before the end of the year. And I'm going to finish all the parables. And that is my goal, to finish all of the parables. And then next I have here, what else that I learned is that prayer truly changes things. And I mean that with all that's in me. Like I told you guys how I wrote some questions that I wanted answered, but it was also things I just wanted clarity on, not just questions. It's like, I need clarity here, Lord, or I need guidance here. And with prayer that I was doing through the 21-day Daniel fast, I don't know what day it was exactly, maybe day 11 or day 13. Something that usually bothers me, something that usually makes me very like anxious and stirred up, did it. And I'm just like, well, look at that. You know, like, and it was in that moment I realized like God is answering my prayers. And I know I said like all of them weren't answered, but a few were. A few were answered during my journey, and a few are being answered even after my journey. Now that it's over, I still see things being answered. And when I say answered, I just mean like I'm receiving clarity on it. I'm receiving guidance in there. And not just like question answer, you know? It's more so like, help me understand this. Give me clarity here. Like, I want to do better here. Help me next time so I can do better in this area, you know? That type of answer. So prayer truly, truly, truly changes things. My mom has a license plate in the back of a car that says prayer changes things. And when I was in college, I always drove my mom's car. and people will always compliment, like saying, oh, I love your license plate. But baby, if I knew the truth of it then as I know now, I would have been like, yes. Before I was like, thank you, you know, but now I'm just like, yes, like wholeheartedly yes. And I love that. I absolutely love being in this space of knowing prayer changes things, being in this space of knowing that I am learning more about God through reading the Bible, learning more about God through pausing and listening, and learning more about God by our relationship just growing and fostering, you know. And I just love that for me. And I would love that for you, like comment down below like how much you loving your relationship with God and how it's growing. Like please, like share with me that experience, because I can go on for days. Okay, yeah, like I was saying, I was noticing the ways in which I talk, noticing the ways in which I think. Like there'd be like war in my head sometimes, battlefield wars, and there's still wars. Like don't get me wrong, like I'm not trying to say doing a 21-day Daniel fast, boom, life is better, boom, like everything's great. All I'm saying is you have the tools to help it be a little smoother. But baby, it's still gonna be rough, it's still gonna be tough, and you still gonna have a battlefield in your mind. But now you have the tools to help ease it, okay? And yeah, maybe it can be gone, but I think it's a constant journey of using your tools, using leaning on God and praying and reading the Bible to really get you there. Like one time fasting not gonna make life great. It's just not. So I'm not trying to say that it ain't no magic pill, potion, or method, but it's gonna be a journey. And I saw a video the other day about someone complaining, saying that their spiritual journey is tiring. They're like, after they cross one hurdle, another one, and then after that hurdle is another one, and they're like, I'm just tired. I'm tired of going to God crying. I'm tired of going to God complaining. I'm just tired. And like I heard her out. I was like, wow, like that's real. Like I understand that pain. But one thing that I'm not gonna do is stop leaning on God, because I realized how life is when you don't lean on God compared to how life is when you lean on God. Okay, like I'd rather continue to lean on God through this journey than not lean on him at all. You know, like even though I may feel like another hurdle, another hurdle, another hurdle, I'd rather have that than not have God at all. Okay, so to my girl out there, if you stumble across my video, I hope you heard that and hope that gives some perspective. I don't know, I don't have the answers, but all I have is my journey, and I hope that can give perspective. So I move right along. Okay, so even after the fast is over, I still continue, right? So going to the fourth victory goal, what is next, right? What is next? I developed a new routine that I am going to continue even though 21-day Daniel fast is over. Like now I'm reading the New Testament, excuse me. I want to continue in the New Testament. I'm realizing there's so many gems in the New Testament. Well, in the whole Bible really, but I just want to start in the New Testament. So every morning I read like a little subtitle in Matthew's, because like not the whole chapter, because then that's going to be overwhelming and overbearing. But I read like a little section. So like for example, you know, like the little section like yeast of the Pharisees and Herod. That's one little section. Jesus heals a blind man. That's one little section. Peter's declaration about Jesus. That's one section. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm bringing that throughout my day. So every morning, I start the morning with a prayer, as I always did before. But I used to do a devotion, and sometimes the devotions wouldn't really help in the area that I needed that day. So I would read the devotion, but I wouldn't really let it marinate and seep in and apply it to my day, because it's like I didn't need that right now. But I'm realizing I'm enjoying learning about God. So through Matthew's, I am learning and walking through God's journey, Jesus' journey when he was on earth. And I'm enjoying that much more right now, rather than reading a devotion that's not really going to hit home for me. So right now, every morning I pray, and then I read something in Matthew that is going to hit home for me, because I'm connecting with God. I'm learning about God, Jesus, while he was on earth, you know? Okay, so what is next? So like I was explaining, before, my morning routines used to just be prayer and do a devotional, right? Doesn't matter what devotional, just read a devotional, right? But now it's prayer and reading about God, learning about God. Boom. And then all throughout the day, I have like a playlist I'm going to show you at the end that really helps foster my mind and my body and my spirit all throughout the day spiritually. And then after work, after my busy long day of being an attorney, I lean on God again, where I do a devotional, but I get to pick it. You know, it's not like, because I do a devotional on my Bible app, right? Where it says like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Whereas this devotional, like, it has the theme of what that devotion's about. You know, grace, forgiveness, love, goals, marriage. You know, like, it has different picks of what I want. And right now it's been a lot about goals, and it's been a lot about just life and the journey of life, because that's really like what's piquing my interest right now. So I'm able to pick the devotion, and then I would journal about it. What did that journal mean to me? What is God trying to tell me with this journal? And how can I apply what I just learned in my life? I feel like every time I read a devotion now, it's just like God's trying to tell me something in devotion. I was meant to read this devotion. What is he trying to tell me? And then like, how can I apply it in my life? And that's been a beautiful journey, to just really incorporate journaling back. And when I incorporate journal back, I'm also incorporating documenting my prayers. So I'm documenting my prayers, documenting my journaling, and I love it, because y'all know I love documenting, hence my YouTube channel. Okay, so it's been a beautiful journey. All right, next is, I need to show you guys oh wait, did I get there? Oh no, so I think I do that, right? And then in bed with my baby, before we go to bed, we are reading, shoot, I messed up. In the morning I don't read Matthew, I read Luke. And every night I read Matthews, I think. I'm getting them mixed up. Yes. No, I was the first time. I'm reading Matthews on my own. No, I'm reading Luke on my own. And then my baby at night, I read Matthews. So excuse me. In the morning, I read Luke and pray. Afternoon, devotion, journal. Evening, I read Matthews. A subsection of Matthews. And I talk it over with my baby. And we talk about it like, yo, like, how crazy is that? So, I absolutely love my journey doing the 21-day Daniel fast. I'm trying to make sure I didn't leave anything out. But all in all, this journey made me love God even more. It strengthened my faith of having God even more. It strengthened the trust of having God even more. It strengthened our relationship we have even more. Our walk is closer. I can hear him more. I'm at peace more. My mind is a little bit more still, but still a little hectic in there. But it's a journey that I'm happy to go on. I'd rather go on this journey with him tired than not with him tired. Now, these two is my bread and butter right now. But all in all, I'm just thoroughly blessed that I did this. I'm so happy that I did this. And I will definitely do it again. And it's just something I want to incorporate in my life daily. To always fast, always reconnect, always restart, always check yourself. Don't become complacent. Don't get comfortable. Like, because to grow deeper in God is the best decision ever. Ever. When you think that you're in a good spot, it can only get better. It can always get better. And it can only get better. and they can only get better as you just get deeper and deeper and deeper with God. So I still have to say thank you, Veggie Riders, if you made it to the end of this video. Drop a praying hand emoji in the chat if you made it to the end of this video. Okay, my battery has been low, that's why I've been talking really fast. But I hope you guys love this video, enjoy this video, and catch me in another video. Okay, Veggie Riders, I am sorry for all the interruptions because my battery keeps dying and I have to charge it and then go again. So I'm gonna get a new battery, a different battery, well, multiple batteries after this experience. But I came back to say, I wanna show you guys me kind of bring back to life Victory. After reading The Unfruitful Tree, I realized that I need to give love, affection, attention to and nurture Victory back to the yellow color he once used to be. Look, this is Victory now. Sad. And this. Okay, Victory Riders. I had to get a whole new camera altogether because the camera died again. So I've been using this. I was using this. This is my like at-home camera when I stand at home and sit and do a video. This is my baby, right? I am now using my vlogging camera because that one just keeps dying on me, and I just want to wrap this video up because I don't want to leave it off for another day. I want to keep the momentum going and keep that high spirit going and close it up. So I was trying to tell you guys how in the parable of the unfruitful fig tree, which you can find it in Luke 13, 6 through 9, I learned that like God is giving us love, attention, grace, and mercy each and every day so that we can bear fruit, right? And I want to do the same thing for the plant Victory. Like Victory is dying, Victory is dead. It's just sad. Let me show you guys. This is Victory right now. This is her. And I can't believe I allowed Victory to get this bad. That stops here because now I'm going to give it the love and attention that it needs and see what happens. In a year from now, let's see what happens. It doesn't grow, it doesn't flourish into a beautiful yellow collie that it was meant to be, then I'll start all over, okay? Just like in the parable. I think I wrapped up. You'd like to call. Oh my gosh. Yo, I don't know what's going on. Every time I try to start this video, my camera died on me 3 times. Siri's interrupting me. My baby was on a phone call in the beginning of the video, just yapping up a storm. Like, so many things was going on in this video, but that's okay. Because I pushed forward, I pushed through, okay? No matter who tried to stop me, okay? We ain't gonna say no names. But we know. Okay, so I'm just so happy that I was able to get this video out to you. As you guys can see, I have completed, oh, actually there's one more thing on the Victory goal I did not complete. Sharing with you guys the Victory Riders gospel playlist. I was telling you guys how I created a playlist that got me through throughout the day. I'll listen to while I'm working, listen to in the shower, listen to while I'm cooking. And this Victory Riders playlist got me through. Okay, let me show it to you guys. So as you guys can see, this is the Victory Riders gospel playlist created by me. And then here are all the songs that I just thoroughly enjoyed to this day. All my favorite gospel hits from throwbacks to even today. I have 68 songs on here. And it runs for 5 hours and 33 minutes. So now I can say I wrapped with everything. Because that was the last thing on the list, was showing you guys the Victory Riders gospel playlist. You guys can like easily look it up on Apple Music and listen to the gospel playlist at your leisure. Whenever you need a spiritual uplifting, it can be there for you. Like, I'm gonna continue to add songs to it. So listening to a song can change your whole life, can change your whole day, your whole mood. I think this is absolutely beautiful. So I hope you guys enjoy my Victory Riders Gospel playlist, okay? Hope it too blesses you because it blessed me. And I think I walked through everything with you guys, man. I really think I did. Yeah, my favorite part was sharing the parable with you guys. I really hope you guys were able to hear me because I was speeding, because I saw my battery was dying. You know, I charged it. Like, what's the battery life of this? Because like I charged it to its full capacity, yet it was down on me twice. The parables, the weeds and the weeds, the treasure, the yeast. Oh, did I even show you guys the yeast? Wow, the yeast one. Okay, that's the last one. I'm gonna let you guys go. So number 3, yeast. Yeast and kingdom of God. So yeast you can find in Matthew 13:33. And in Matthew 13:33, if you go there, you'll see the parable of flour being flour and yeast being yeast. But then together, when you combine it, it makes a loaf of bread. And at first I was just like, I hear it, I read it, I understand it. But then when I really had to dive deeper, like use my spiritual side of the mind, I realized that perhaps we are the flour, right? Plain, ordinary flour, right? But then when God comes in the mix, which is God is the yeast, he transforms us into something greater. Because who doesn't love bread? Who doesn't love bread, okay? Where the yeast is added to the flour, and now you have a loaf of bread. Because flour by itself, what are you going to do with flour by itself? But when you have bread, you can make a sandwich, make some toast, okay, make some croutons. Like, when you have bread, you are a whole new being that can do so much more. But you have to add the yeast. And the yeast is God. That's how I took it. I could be completely wrong, but that's how I took it. Okay, I think how we analyze or reason or dissect the Bible can be, there can be many different interpretations of how one can interpret the Bible. But I think at the end, only thing that matters is how it resonates with you. And if it resonates with you and lifts you to grow closer and ignites your flame to want to learn more about God, that's all that matters. That's what that matters. If you are wrong in your interpretation, God's gonna lead you to get there, okay? And it's all about the journey. Alright, so I could possibly be wrong in how I interpreted some of the parables. But with this journey I'm going on, God's going to bring to light. He's gonna let me see clearly. Okay, Victory Riders, I have yapped off your head long enough on my journey doing a 21-day Daniel fast. And now, the next thing you'll see is me cultivating, nourishing, showing a lot of attention to Victory in hopes that it bears fruit. Okay, because I don't want to live a life that's unfruitful. I don't want Victory to live a life that's unfruitful. Like, it's really like a failing right here. Like, same thing with Donte. When I learned about what I share with him, and I gotta do the same for my baby, my Victory plan. You know, so that we all can bear fruit and all be considered good and faithful servants when God returns. So, Victory Riders, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys love what you see. If you want to see more of this, please like, comment, and subscribe right here. I'm gonna pause right here for you to do that. Alright, did you do that? Did you do it? Thank you so much, Victory Riders. You are now officially a Victory Rider. I appreciate you guys rocking with me towards the end of this video. Remember to praying hand emojis if you made it to the end of this video. And I'll see you in another video. Love, Victory Riders. Bye! Hello to all my Victory Riders. As you guys know, I am about to replant my plant I call Victory. That's supposed to be a calla lily, and as you guys see, it is just completely dead. And while I was doing the 21-day Daniel fast, as I shared in the clip before, when I read this parable, the unfruitful fig tree, that you guys can find in Luke 13, 6 and 9, and it reads, "And he told this parable, a man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came seeking fruit on it and found none. And he said to his vine dresser, look, for 3 years now I've been coming seeking fruit on this fig tree, and I find none. Cut it down. Why should we use it up for ground? He answered him, Sir, let it alone for this year also, until I dig around it and put manure on it. Then it should bear fruit next year. Well and good, but if not, you can cut it down." So when I read this verse, it reminded me of not only myself in my life, of like, am I bearing fruit? Am I bearing the fruit that God wants me to bear here on earth? Am I bearing the God-given gifts that He put in me on this earth, you know? Not only did I think of it that way, but I also thought about it in my plant Victory, that I shouldn't give up on her. You know, I made the comparison that Victory is like my child. You know, like I need to help my child bear fruit because it's kind of like a family. You gotta like each one teach one. So in that way, I'm just like, I'm not gonna give up on Victory. I'm going to help her, nurture her, give her the love, affection, attention that she needs so that she can bear fruit next year, okay, or in the coming months or days. So, wow, there's just so many ways you can break down this verse. You know, like, it can either, well, so many interpretations you can have with this verse. And I'm going to just play my Victory Riders gospel playlist in the back, but just silently, just to set the mood for me, you know. But there's like 3 ways you can interpret this verse. So you can look at it as like, God's going to work on you. God's not going to give up on you. He's going to put in that love, affection, attention that you need in order to bear fruit. That's one way. Another way you can look at it is like, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to cultivate myself, work on the areas I know that I need to work on in order to bear fruit. And you can look at it in a sense of helping your family, helping your village, helping your friends bear fruit by pouring into them, you know. So it's kind of like a river, you know. Like, first God has to pour into you, you have to pour into yourself before you pour into others, you know. So here I am pouring into Victory, and as you guys can see, like, this is the before of Victory. I'm even gonna take a picture right now because I believe that I can bring Victory back to life. I really don't know if that's even like physically possible with plants. Like, when it dies this bad, can it come back to life? It was a beautiful yellow calla lily. I'm gonna give you guys a reminder. I'm putting a video up right here. I mean, a picture. It was a beautiful yellow calla lily that, you know, like a dangles, so that I can have like a beautiful before and after pic when it's time. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this. This is essentially what told me what the plant is. So you see, calla lily. It has a pink image, but it's really yellow. And it has like directions of how you should treat it. But your girl didn't treat it. So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is, I have this, oh wow. I had this trash bag down. And, ooh, that stinks. And I have this new houseplant potting mix, specially formulated for indoor container plants. These are the 6 months. Oh wow. Oh wow, babe, you smell that stink. So I'm gonna wash this real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to wash this out because soil was in here and also soil was stinky. So let me make sure nothing comes onto the ground. So I'm just gonna dry this potting out. I honestly don't know what I'm doing, but it's kind of like I'm trying to find some roots, because I know it's roots what makes the plant grow. Wow, look at all these roots. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there are a lot of roots on here. They're like, maybe the container was too small for it. I don't know, but this is a messy process. I don't want to, you know what? I didn't think this through, honestly. Oh, wow. Baby.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's stinky.
Ew.
You smell it?
Ew. No. Oh no. Oh man. Ew.
You childish. Babe, give me a napkin, please. It stinks. And there's like a big mother seed.
Ew.
Like,
That
you just drop it.
stinks.
You just drop it. Thanks, babe.
Oh, that one right on there.
Yeah. There's like a big mother seed like right here. So I'm thinking I need to keep as much as this as possible, but like trying to get rid of the old soil maybe. So maybe plants just stink naturally, I don't know, but or maybe it's just poor care. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is pour some. Yeah, this potting smells really good. So I removed all of the bad leaves, and then I'm gonna squeeze. Ooh, dang. I don't know what happens. This is the mother seed right here that I just detached from all of that. My hope is, maybe I should run some water in this. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That I did not anticipate. So this seems to be like the motherboard seed. Let me get out the frame so it can focus. You guys can see that? Look at this baby. It's a thick, thick mama. You see that? Okay, so I'm going to now plant it. I put some fresh soil in here. I'm gonna put it in. Maybe the containers are too small for it too. So once it starts to grow, I may then transfer it to a bigger container. But right now, since it's really nothing. So, like I planted the mother in here. Let me see after you plant, should I water it? So it says, select a pot with drain holes. Oops. Dang it, I messed up. What I gotta do is pour it back in. Reading's fundamental, y'all. I need this. I need this thing. Because this is the pot with drain holes at the bottom. So now let me wash this out, this stinks. I just cleaned out this pot with drain holes. So select a pot with drain hole. With a drain hole. This had none. I wonder if that's the issue. Okay, then it says fill pot 3/4. Okay, let me go back to what I did. Alright, fill pot 3/4. I think that's about 3/4.
That looks good, baby. Good job. Wow.
It says fill pot about 1/3 full. Okay. And then it says loosen root ball. Oh, this is a root ball. It's a root ball.
Loosen it. You gotta loosen that root ball.
Please plant in the pot. Maybe I feel like a little too much.
You gotta loosen that root ball, baby.
So, okay. Add more mix. Press lightly. Yeah, my hand is all dirty in this thing. Press lightly. So, add more mix, press lightly, water, let drain. So now that I dirtied this thing, let me clean this because I'm going to put this in here. So, all this washing, all this cleaning, but I guess this is the love you got to give to the plant. So now, this is officially washed. This is officially, the root ball is officially planted. I filled the soil up to like 1/3. I put the root ball, then I place the more soil in there. So now it says cover. water. It says water, let drain. All right, here we go. Oh wait, I can't forget its name, its labeling. Look at that. Ugh, it's a mess over here. I'm just gonna water this baby just a little bit. And just a little bit, I watered it. So I know you can overwater. So that's that. This is my new home for my fig tree, aka my calla lily. Okay, so I'm gonna place this on the windowsill to get some sun, because we know that plants need water and sun. But that wraps up this video. Thank you guys so much for helping me replant my calla lily so that it can be a fruitful tree. And I hope you guys were blessed in this video, enjoyed this video, inspired, or anything, gained some type of insight, different perspective in anything you heard today. I love you, Victory Riders. Thanks for riding with me, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.